Cowabunga, dudes, because you have reached Redfield's Twinkle Review. I'm your man, Steele, and today I'll be reviewing Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, April O'Neil. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, April O'Neil. But before I get into the actual review, I just want to go over some of the spectacular details on this packaging. Up front here, a typical display window showing you what the figure and all of her accessories inside. Across the top here, you have a couple cool old school illustrations of April O'Neil. In the middle here, you have the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles logo. Over here, turtle emblem. On top of that, it says April O'Neil, weapon, camcorder blaster. Below that, you have another illustration of April O'Neil. And down here in the corner, you have a warning label that says choking hazard, small parts, not for children under 3. In the other corner here, you have the Playmates Toys logo. Now, back in the packaging here, in the top corner here, you have the Nickelodeon logo. The other corner here, you have the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles logo. Over here, you have a caption that reads, "The evolution of the turtles. A boy's bowl of pet turtles falls into the stench of an underground city sewer. They land on Splinter, a penniless but powerful ninja master who lives in a muff." Then over here it says, "Splinter's enemy, Shredder, leader of the evil Foot Clan, pours a disgusting green ooze over Splinter and accidentally the turtles, hoping to zap him dead." Then over here it says, "Instead, the turtle pets mutate into turtle teens, and Splinter turns into the biggest rat to ever face a trap." Then the final box here says, "Splinter, the big cheese leader, teaches the turtles the way of the ninja. Together, they form a kick-stopping fighting team for the side of good against the deadly Foot Clan. Get ready for the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles." Then over here you have a cross of all the other available figures, and down here a text spec that reads, "Portrait of April O'Neil, TV news reporter and Turtles #1 fan. Vital news, accessories, camcorder, blaster, wireless microphone, TMNT portable computer, Ninja Star. Birthplace, the Valley. Height, 5 feet 5 inches tall. Weight, 115 pounds. Age, a young 25. Down here says, April's a determined TV news journalist. Portrait of April O'Neil, TV news reporter and Turtles #1 fan. Vital news, accessories, camcorder, blaster, wireless microphone, TMNT portable computer, Ninja Star. Birthplace, the Valley. Height, 5 feet 5 inches. Weight, 115 pounds. Age, a young 25. Down here it says, April's a determined TV news journalist, always prepared for the late-breaking news feature with her camcorder strapped around her arm. Her eagerness, however, gets her into trouble and makes her a big pain in the shell for the turtles, who always end up saving this damsel in distress. Still, April's no airhead and is a valuable member of the turtle team. Being a pretty human has its advantages, like getting to places the turtles can't. When the situation calls for more than a news flash, April's ready with a trusty blaster, which is secretly locked inside her camcorder. And next to that, you have the Playmates Toys logo. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, classic, basic, April O'Neil. April O'Neil was released October 2023 with the suggested retail price of $11.99, and she's available at all major retailers. April O'Neil was released along with the other Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles classic basic figures, Baxter Stockman, Ray Fillet, Mondo Geeko, Genghis Frog, and Wingnut. April O'Neil has 7 points of articulation, and her accessories include her camcorder, blaster, wireless microphone, TMNT portable computer, and Ninja Star. April O'Neil stands 5 inches tall, and she is meant for fans ages 4 and up. Now that I have April O'Neil on my display table, so I want to go over some of her play features and accessories. First, I talk about her Ninja Star. And these Ninja Stars are pretty much a staple in the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles toy line. If you're a kid back in the late 80s, early 90s, you had an abundance of these because these things were everywhere. They were under the bed, in between couch cushions. Whether it be gray or orange, you had these things everywhere because almost every single figure in that toy line came with these ninja stars. But in order to arm April O'Neil with this ninja star, what I do is I take this little porthole in the middle here, and I stick her thumb through it, just like that, and now you have April O'Neil armed with her ninja star. Very cool, and this ninja star is pretty safe for small children. The one thing I would avoid is it's a choking hazard because it's very, very small, but the corners of the star are rounded, so it's not going to cause any damage, and it's thicker, and it's duller, so you're not really going to have any issues with kids poking each other in the eye or hurting each other with it. But like I said, I'd avoid giving it to small children only because it could be a choking hazard or they could swallow them. I'm going to put this off to the side, because the next accessory I'm bringing in is her TMNT portable computer. It's a nice little thing because it's a briefcase. It has a cool play feature because it opens up, and it features a computer. It's held together by pegs and portholes. You got some mold detail right here, looks like some buttons, and you got an imaginary screen right here. It would have been nice if they added a sticker detail, but like I said, this is a reissue, and toys weren't as elaborate as they are nowadays, you know. But there's this hollowed out space in the bottom here, which brings in our next accessory, the wireless microphone. This wireless microphone is what it states. It's a microphone, and some basic mold detail to it, and it does fit right into April O'Neil's hand. So she can report on the Channel 6 News with her microphone. Very cool. But you can also take this microphone, and what I did as a kid, because it seems like this is what it's meant for, and there's really no instructions telling you to do so. There's this hollowed out space right here. What I did is I stored my microphone right there. I would close the case up, then I would go ahead and put it in April O'Neil's hand, just like that. Very, very cool. But I'm going to go ahead and put this off to the side. So the next accessory I'm bringing in was referred to as a blaster, but we all know what it actually is, and I don't want YouTube to flag me if I use the G word. If you guys don't know what a G word is, it's G-U-N. But this is more of like a pistol, and it's some basic mold detail, like I mentioned. It is a reissue, and this figure was made in the late 80s, so, you know, there wasn't really a need back then to make these things look too realistic or too much mold detail to it. Like nowadays, you will have a lot of mold detail added to these accessories. But in order to arm April O'Neil with this blaster, put it right in her hand just like that, and now you have April O'Neil armed with her blaster. Very cool. But I don't really recall seeing April O'Neil using a blaster on the cartoon series. She was mainly just a reporter, or she'd get kidnapped and the Turtles would rescue her. Pretty much she was a damsel in distress for most of the series. So I'm going to go and take this blaster and put it off to the side. Because the next accessory I'm going to bring in is her camcorder. And this camcorder is kind of an enigma to me because from what I can recall from the original figure that I owned, I do recall the blaster going in there, but it fit in there better. And this, for some reason, this version does not do that. I mean, some pegs molded on the side of this, but it doesn't have any portholes on the inside of it. I'm not sure if that's something that was left out, but it doesn't really stay on too securely, especially when April holds the blaster in her hand. But April O'Neil wasn't really a cameraman. That was more Vern's job. But if you really hold the camera up, or the pistol up, you can kind of have the camcorder on there, but it doesn't stay securely on there. It's not a great display piece anyways. It's kind of cool that they included the camera with April O'Neil, but she's more of a reporter, and I think they maybe just didn't want to give her the blaster without maybe concealing it with this camcorder, but I don't see any point in having an accessory. They should have just molded a handle on this camcorder, so they could have made it a standalone accessory. But I'm going to put this off to the side. I'm going to go ahead and grab that wireless microphone, because that's what April O'Neil's main job was a reporter. So, you know, she mainly just reported on Channel 6 News with her microphone, so that's the accessory of choice that I would use when I display her. Very cool figure nonetheless. And a lot of you are wondering, why is she in orange and yellow? In the cartoon series, she was primarily in just yellow. Well, my original figure, and I don't have it on hand because I sold it off a few years ago, she did come orange and yellow. So my original figure, the box art had her in all yellow, and I don't know if they ever released April O'Neil in all yellow. But she also has this black detail right here, and she has a turtle detail on the back for her jumpsuit here. And I don't know if the original figure, I think the original figure did have that. I did read a report that this head sculpt here was from this April O'Neil version 2.0 figure that they used over the original head. I can't really recall because it's been such a long time, but to me this figure is nicely done. I mean, it does have that air of vintageness to it. It looks like an older figure. It has basic points of articulation where it has articulation in the hips. You got the elbow articulation right here where it just twists. You got shoulder articulation, you got head articulation, you got waist articulation. You got the basic 7 points of articulation. 2 more than the basic ones from the toys from the 80s. A lot of the toys from the 80s did only have the 5 points of articulation. As time went on, you know, towards the mid 80s, late 80s, they did add more points of articulation. But the one thing I noticed about the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles toy line is they have a very stylized pose where they're not like standing straight, where they're kind of usually in action poses, like this figure is. And looks like she's pointing or she's doing something. And I know that hand's not molded to hold her blaster, as you can see. So she's just basically just pointing. So these Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles original figures did have a very stylized pose to it. Very nicely done figure. I'm very happy with it. I'm glad I was able to get my hands on the reissue because I had that regret of selling my original toy line because I was sitting on it for such a long time. And by the time I got rid of it, that whole boom with TMNT came back, and then the live action movies came out and kind of rekindled that interest in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles toy line, and the original figures were being reissued, and now Nickelodeon purchased the rights to Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and now they're pretty much bringing out a series. Whether or not, whatever generation you're into, I love this toy line. This toy line's great, and if you guys can get your hands on any of these figures, and I know Target just released a 1988 remastered 6-pack, which is fantastic, and I hope that they're also giving that treatment to other figures because the 4 Turtles, Splinter, and Shredder look fantastic in that remastered 6-pack, and I hope maybe April O'Neil, Casey Jones, or what other figures will be the next in line for that treatment. But if you guys found any of the information in this review valuable, please like and share this video. Also, if you really enjoy my content, please subscribe to my channel, and while you're there, click the bell to be notified of any future videos. I want to thank you guys for watching Rad Steele's Toy Collector Review. I'll check you guys out next time.